All right, we'll get in here. Hey kids, how you doing? Mark Miller here. Roy's with me.
I am indeed.
How you doing, Roy?
I'm good. I'm good.
Haven't seen you in a few days.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're with us or not, Roy, when we did this. I think you were not. I think you left, and we actually did something that was kind of interesting. Fred's with us. Fred, can you say hi? Fred says hi. Okay. Let's go take a look at it. Here it is right here. So over on the debug side of things, did I lose Rory already?
There was a disconnect.
There's Roy. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Hello.
You're back. All right. So let's go in here. We'll take a look at it right there. So one of the things we did is we started work on a templating engine. So if I type in if and then I do a space here, well, I say that, and now it's not working. I don't know why. How the heck did that stop working? You know what? I think I can explain this. I bet it's because I changed it and fixed it using edit and continue, and that instance we were just in was started up from the already compiled exe.
Okay.
Let me try again. I'm just going to run from here. I bet it works from here.
Older version of the code.
Yeah. Did you see? Does this picture here behind Fred look familiar to you? This one right here?
I remember tuning in for a brief second and watching you draw that and trying to distinguish precisely between what the definition of a caret position and a character position was. But I didn't see any of the surrounding information. Nothing after it got placed, nothing before you were drawing it.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's try again here. We'll initialize player data. Do I click it? Yeah, I clicked it. All right, switch over to Merkin, hide the scroll, go to debug. And now here we go. So if I type in if and a space bar, there you go. So there's the expansion.
Ooh.
Including
like that.
Caret positioning, right?
Including caret position, which of course contextually makes much more sense now, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other one we added was just a /m. Okay, like that. So we created two templates. That's what we did. Today I want to do syntax highlighting. And I want to be able to see this code syntax highlight. That's what I want.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, it would. So let's close down the app. And let's figure out how to do that. I was actually doing some research on this, and I ultimately decided to go with something called AvalonEdit.
Mm-hmm.
It's open source, and it looks pretty good from what I've read so far.
Yeah, so it looks fairly in-depth, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so it's got the ability to do syntax highlighting out of the box for C#. I say out of the box. Well, we'll find out how much code we have to do to make it work. And yeah, it looks like it may be in a .xshd file. And but it also has code completion. So
oh, nice.
Which I'm like, oh, I like that. So
Here's a question. What date was this article created? Do you know?
Let's see. Well, the history down here says 2013 is the last thing that it was sent in here. 2013.
Okay.
However,
so the only thing really that puts in my head is the suggestion that maybe more modern C# features might not be understood.
Okay.
But that, that, as you say, from a highlighting point of view, maybe that's not a problem anyway.
Well, let's go check out the source on GitHub. Good idea, Fred. What do you think? Fred? Oh yeah, we shut down the app, so Fred's kind of
Those
not gonna be
are
able to talk to us.
relatively recent edits by the look of it.
What do we got here?
That's good. So the article may not have been updated hugely since, but those are recent.
Yeah.
4 months, 10 months, that kind of thing. That's good.
I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know,
Excellent.
Dev Express has got a rich text, rich text control, I think is what it's called, WPF thing, and I was actually looking at doing that as well, but there's a difference between syntax highlighting and rich text coloring. Rich text coloring is where you embed within the document itself what the color is going to be, right?
Yes.
Syntax highlighting is that the color is determined independent of the document. And the problem with with trying to get the rich edit control to do syntax highlighting is that it'll probably work well on small files, but on larger files it doesn't really scale so well because of it's really the wrong approach to if you want to do syntax highlighting. So I decided not to do that. I decided to go with AvalonEdit. That's what we're going to do. And there's a NuGet package for it. So I'm just going to come in here like this. And we're going to come in and we're going to say manage NuGet packages. The only thing I'm not sure about is, do I want to add it to my main app or do I want to add it to another app, another DLL? And I think I'm just going to go with the main app for now. So I believe this is it.
It's pretty high level. It's UI, so that's good.
So let's see what we're going to do here. See what happens. Successfully installed. That was super easy. Okay, so that step is done. Next, go to our main window. And here's where we want to add that AvalonEdit. Let's go look at, I think it's TBX code is what I called it. Yeah, there it is there. That's a type text box. I may need to, I'm wondering if I can just add this, if it's going to be smart enough to give me anything, any kind of hint or suggestion. Am I close? Nope. Let's see what I got to do here.
Well, AvalonEdit colon text editor, and then you've got a namespace, obviously.
Yeah, this is kind of super interesting. It's interesting doing it that way. It's all right. So let's throw that at it and see how we like that. Looks like we're okay. Now let's get these properties and bring them over.
Geniscu 7, where are you? We need your help. Oh, yeah, all right.
Who's here?
Here, I am.
Welcome, Geniscu. How are you doing?
Geniscu 7. So cool. Syntax highlighting is equal to C#. We've got that. We don't have a selection changed event though.
Interesting.
So we're gonna have to deal with that somehow. By the way, this is one of my favorite templates. The dot is cool, but I can't do it here. I've got to do it somewhere outside. They don't allow comments inside of properties, it appears. So, but if I do 2 dots and space, it'll give me a comment, a multi-line comment, and that works in C#.
Do you like that?
I don't know if it works in VB or not. Does VB have multi-line comments? It doesn't, does it?
I don't believe it does,
Yeah.
unless I've missed the announcement at some stage, although there's not been many updates in a while. Yeah, I think that is a sort of shortfall on that side.
So what can I get here? Let's bring up CodeRush's IntelliRush, and let's tap and look for events. I'm looking for something similar to selection changed. Caret moved. can I do? I can't, if I type in selection. Yeah, no events there for selection. Caret. So I'm going to have to figure out selection changed. I don't have that. If we do tab to next reference here, what's going on with our selection changed? Looks like I wasn't actually using it.
Okay.
But that was kind of interesting there. That was interesting that okay, so I'm okay with that. Since we're not using that, I'm just going to comment this out like this. And let's go into this part right here. Expand template. It's the wrong type is now coming in. We were bringing a text box in before, and now we want to do something. We want to do something different there. So
I wonder, does AvalonEdit in any way descend from text box? Mind you, if it did, it probably would have the selection changed method event, wouldn't it? So probably not.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it does not. I'm going to change this to an AvalonEdit control like that, and what's wrong? Do I have the template engine? Is my template engine? Where's my template engine located? It's in the main app. What's the control? It's the text editor, is what it is.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's get the IC sharp code. What is that? Is that really the namespace? I guess it is. Okay, so there's my text box. Okay, so I got to figure all these pieces out. The caret, as I recall, there are 3 objects inside of this. That's what I was reading about. 3 main, well, actually a couple objects here. Document. I want the text area, controls editing, caret selection handles. So I want to get to the text area. So I think this is going to be, there it is, text area right there. Caret. So an offset there. So we used to have, what was this before? Caret index? Yeah. That's the insertion position index of the caret. So that's equivalent to the offset. That's the offset right there. So that feels like a good one-on-one kind of transformation. Get line index from character index. So what's the index of the line? I'm not sure. I almost want to play with document instead. There should be an object called document, and then get line by offset. Gets the line, document line by offset. So let's see if that works. That's going to return a line, and then I want to get the offset. Gets the starting offset of the line in the document set. So I think that's the new line of code there.
That's plausible, yeah.
Now we want to get the line text. So we're going to say, go into document again and get text. It needs an offset and a length. Ooh, get line by offset. No, wait. Oh, Wait, this. Do I need line index at all? I do. Did line start index? Hold on. I don't think I want to do this. I want to do this. By the way, I don't know if you were here or not, but if I hit num1 on my keyboard, it gives me declare local that fast. Were you here when I created that shortcut?
No, I was not.
It was very cool.
I do like that though.
I'll show you how I did that. It's a new feature of CodeRush. Num1. Execute refactoring, parameters, declare local. Num2,
Very nice.
execute refactoring, declare method. So I just added 2 new bindings over there on the num keypad, so I can instantly declare locals and instantly declare methods just by hitting the key. Saves a lot of time. Don't have to wait for Visual Studio to populate the action menu.
Absolutely.
So we're going to say, we're going to make this be the line, and the line text is going to be, what is it, dot text? ToString. I'm worried that wait, does not include the line's text. Look at that, great comment there.
That's really useful help.
Good
Person
job.
knew exactly where your brain would be going and heads it off and helps you out. It's good.
Next line, previous line. Where is, I want the text. Do I have to make a call to the document to get the text
Maybe.
and pass in the line? Could that be the way it's managed? Let's see if that does it. Document.get, oh, look at that, get text. And an overload.
Text.
Is the overload going to be, segment. Do I got a segment? No.
Well, you got a start point and an offset for the first overload. Offset
Yeah,
line.
I guess I could do that. Offset, comma, line.link. I don't know. I was hoping for, it seems like getting the text of the line should be simpler than that. Once I have a line, there should be like a get text call or something like that. I just don't get why I'm not seeing that.
Possible, but I can imagine, obviously, with an editor, you're not entirely sure what the person's going to want to edit. So it might be the line in your case is never a legitimate thing, and actually you want a statement, which will be a multi-line thing inherently. So perhaps, I don't know, it's useful, and yes, you can build it, but it isn't necessarily everybody's requirement, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Lasamat's asking, is that a lizard backseat coding? Well, there's 2 things. There's the lizard out there that is that's Fred, and there is Rory, whose voice you hear in the background, who's with us. He's with us 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays around this time.
Yeah.
And he's just helping out. We're discussing stuff. Let me hide the scroll there and get rid of those other name tags there. And Fred, can you say hi now, Fred? There's Fred saying hi. So there you go. Fred's a digital puppet here. Yeah, kind of a lizard backseat coding right now. What I'd really like though is to know, how can I get the text from the document line? It seems like this is more work. This line is more work than I would expect. Right? It's almost like I want to create an extension method on document line that says get me the text, and then I just pass in the document. Like I'd kind of prefer this line of code to be, at the very least, line.getText that. That's what I prefer. It's this over that, right? That's what I would prefer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll create an extension method for that later. Okay, next, line start index. Well, that we know now. That's going to be the offset for the line. Don't have an offset. Not line text. Sorry. Line dot. The channel is visually the most intense stream I've been to so far.
How long have you been watching, Lasamat? Because this is nothing.
Yeah, you've seen nothing. You see,
Just gonna say, this is nothing.
here comes Coding Gorilla. Look at that code. Coding Gorilla's in the house.
Greetings, Coding Gorilla.
Yeah, Coding
Welcome.
Gorilla's like intense. How?
Last time I says 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He's been here 2 minutes.
That's right.
Stick around.
Yeah.
You may see some things.
Good stuff, isn't it, Fred? Fred says, yeah, it's good stuff. Who's the man, Fred? Who's the man? Is it me? Okay. Hey, Deepwater's here. Welcome, Deepwater. Welcome, everybody. Genescu 7's doing the test smoke there. Oh, by the way, I got my new machine parts are all in, I think. I'm putting it together. I'm assembling the new machine.
The beast.
I am. And it was really interesting. I'm like, as I'm putting together the air-based cooling system, and I'm looking down at it, I'm noticing that the air-based cooling system is overhanging the location that I need to put the graphics card in by about 2 or 3 millimeters. And I'm like, that's not going to work. I do a search for it, and sure enough, the combination of this graphics card, this motherboard, and that cooling system, there's already somebody talking about it. And I'm like, no! And I live in Costa Rica, so anything I buy is essentially non-returnable because I've got to import it. It's got to get through customs. So I talked to Chef Brent about it, and we work out an alternative that's in stock, because that was the other thing. Is like everybody's buying computers now, I guess, because they're working at home and they're wanting to beef up their computer systems.
Well, they heard what you were doing and wanted to emulate it.
That might have been it. Could be. So I've got a liquid cooling system on the way, but then
Nice.
I'm like, I think I can adjust the position of this. So I start taking things apart, and sure enough, I can move the air cooling system just a few millimeters off to the side and then clamp it down again. And so if the base of the chip, here I'll use this as a graph. If this is the CPU, and my fingers represent, or maybe here let's do something like this. If this right here is the heat sink on top of it, right, for the cooling system, yep. I've moved it just a little bit off to there, just exposed a little bit of the edge. But I know how these things are built. Well, my understanding is that the actual chip inside this thing is about as big as my finger, right? Everything else is wires coming out from it. So that's the point of most heat.
That's the heat generation that comes from there, yeah. So
it should be essentially as effective as it was in the correct position. Yes. I was able to put the graphics card in. Then I'm plugging everything in. I've got all the pieces in, and now it's time to get power to the motherboard, and my power supply doesn't have enough CPU jacks in the back to get it, because I've already used all of the PCI cable connections, which also double the PCI slots on the back of the power supply, double as power connectors to the graphics card, which already has two of these going into it. And I'm reading the instructions. It says, the motherboard really needs two if you don't want to mess up your motherboard, Mark. My instructions seem to say Mark in them, by the way.
Did they see you coming?
By the way, there was a product like 20 so years ago. It was a communications product. I forget what it was, but it's like a modem communications product. And I'm reading through the manual, and it says, I'm not kidding you, this is the exact text. It says, now, as an example, suppose your name was Mark Miller. And then I keep reading, and then I do a double take, and I'm like, wait a second, my name is Mark Miller. I go back and read it, and that was exactly what they did. They put my name in the manual. So anyway, I'm short one power supply, and I'm like, well, okay, I do have one of these PCIs is powering an M2 expansion card, and I've loaded up. I bought 3 M2 drives. I've got 3 SSD drives, each 2 terabytes each. So I've got 6 terabytes total on this. because I'm consuming huge amounts of video in the production of assets for this show and also for the other show. So
Yes.
so there's easily already, I've got 2 terabytes filling up one drive of stuff that I am using in projects, that if I were to open the projects again, I'd still want to have those files out there on disk, out there. So I've got these, and I've got my M2 expansion, but I realized, you know what, I've got 2 more, and it's holding 2 M2 drives in it, 2 SSD drives, but I've got 2 more M2 slots that I'm not using down on the board underneath the graphics card and off to the side. And I'm like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this M2 expansion slot out, and later I'm gonna buy a new power supply, and I'm gonna connect everything. I'm gonna put this back in when I want to get another 4 terabytes. Yeah, last man says, did it go like this? Suppose your name is Mark Miller. Mark Miller plugs the wrong cables into the wrong slots. Don't be Mark Miller and do it right. Yeah, it was exactly like that. Exactly like that. Genescu7 says EK did some cool liquid cooling things. Yeah, just cut off 2 millimeters off the graphics card. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. I actually, last minute, I was actually, the first thing I tried doing was just pushing it up against it, right? Because it was looking like it could almost fit. And I was just getting a really bad feeling about it, right? It's a $1,400 card going down, and it's a $700 processor off to the side. And, you know, it's not, this stuff is not meant to bend. And so I just was like, all right, pull it up.
We all do. We all do little things like that. I've done similar. I've taken one of those great big cooler things that, just like you described, that sits on the CPU, and I've discovered it's actually too deep now for the case, just the whole case.
The cooler
but it's okay because, yeah. So we've got basically inside the case we've got motherboard, chip, cooler, heatsink, and it's all mounted. And now I can't get the side on the case. But it's okay. I gave it a little bit more force, and it fits now. It's just a small dent in the side of it.
Yeah.
And I figured that's just going to help the conductivity.
That's how I used. I used to solve problems using force. By the way, that was the old way of doing things. I don't do that so much. I do know on.
You say that. Now we have the brute force and ignorance specific call out.
There it is right there.
Almost as if we're heralding this exact fact.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of what we're using on the show here. Hold on a second. Let me show you the. I'll show you the.
Not so much physical force though.
Right. Not so much physical force. Let me bring this up here so you can see what's going on. That's what I ordered right there. Deep cool. So that's it. It's got some RGB cool stuff. All right, fine. Not too expensive, considering there are other options that were like 200 or more. And it's got 3 fans, and it's nice and tiny, right? So it's not going to suck up. The other thing I've got, this air cooling thing that I've got. Hold on, let me get you a link to that so you can. Oh, look at this! Code Man Code! We haven't seen Codeman Codes in a while.
Greetings, Codeman Codes.
Wait, did he show up, or did I just click it by accident?
Hang on a second. There's nothing in the chat room to suggest he's here.
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing. It looks like I clicked it by accident is what it looked like it happened there.
Got our hopes up again.
Yeah, that was weird. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I'm getting you the other cooler so you can compare the two. Where are you? Other cooler. There it is. It's the Be Quiet Dark Rock Pro. Let's bring that up so you can see it. This is the one I have right now, and it's big. And it's and it overhangs on the motherboard. The problem is in here we go.
You can see even in that shot, it's looking pretty close to the memory, isn't it?
Yeah, the problem is this card and the motherboard I have is like running right up around here, and this overhang is like right above it, right here. That's the problem. But I just took it, the whole thing, and I said, you know what? I bet we can make this work, and I did that with it. So that's what's going on there. So that's currently what I have, but the other one's on its way. When it gets here, I'm going to swap one for the other, And I'm not sure what the heck I'm going to do with this, because like I say, you know, you can't really return things. And anyway, so that's what's going on there with the motherboard.
That'll be for the next machine, right?
I don't know.
Or maybe use it as an upgrade for an existing machine. So much you don't really have much in the way of desktop devices.
This is the first desktop I've purchased in like 20 years. First desktop I've built in like 20 years. I used to do this a long time ago, and what's interesting is the technology is so different. There are terms I had to learn all in the last weekend, right? And you know, like PCIe and M2. Try to get my head wrapped around understanding what these are. Things that, you know, that the equivalents of 20 years ago I totally knew all the time, and I'd be like, just pop all this in, do all these things, and build it, and we'd be done. Okay, text box caret index. I think it's this one again, and I think I can reuse this guy. Whoops. Let's see, are we changing caret index anywhere in here? We're not. So I think I can just reuse this caret index here. Just to confirm, yeah, it's the same reference there. Caret, wait. Oh no, this is a different value than this one. Because we've made changes in here, I believe. Is that true or not? No, this is the assignment here. So no, it is the same value.
Yeah, up until then, it should still be the same.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to use the same one here. And now, thermal take flow, but for memory block, you need thermal take top frame, RC. I don't have anything cooling my memory out. It's just kind of sitting there at the mercy of the ambient heat around it. Now we got to figure out a way to set the offset. I bet this is assignable. Right there. All right, so there's my change. Can we build? Do we get a build? All right. Well, Janisco 7, I just bought this. You're going to give me a new one to get? I think it's already shipped. There's nothing I can do. Let's see what we got here. Thermal take flow. Got a ring plus. I don't think these are any of these are what you're talking about yet. Wonder if they're going to call it a different name for the English product. Oh, no, there it is. Now I get it. When I type in with a W, it gives me the one with the E. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks awesome. That was the one I decided not to get because it was 200, and the other one was like 150 or something. So, all right. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on. So that's the world. What's going on here?
That's an interesting couple of lines.
This resets no. This resets the undo stat. So I added this code because when we have the app running and we click on all the different events, it shows the code for each of those different events. Each time we click on a different event, if we don't do this, it thinks it's an undoable item.
Yeah, so you can undo from one event back to the other.
Exactly.
Except that you won't be editing the other. You'll have just massacred the one you're on.
Exactly. And so that was super important. So we're going to say this, then we're going to do that. Actually, I'm going to do this inside. I'm going to put this in its own method. Reset undo stack. I'm sure the AvalonEdit has the equivalent of this. I'm pretty sure. Let's see what happens. Oh, you know what? I should have hit num2. Let's train myself. Num2 is going to be
Just
declare
looking
method.
at that going, did you just manually extract a method?
Yeah. All right. So if that's the case, then we're going to come in here, select both those, hit the letter B to put them in blocks, paste that in there. That now works. Now I want to say else. Okay, let's change this. So object. All right, else if, oh, for some reason TBX code became text editor. That's what I want. Okay. Else if that is equal to my Avalon edit, which is,
Was it not actually an AvalonEdit? That was the namespace it was in.
yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's not an Avalon edit. I just need to get that other namespace in there. Dot text box is what I think. Text editor. So if that's the case, then we can come in here and say, do we have anything with the undo?
Can undo, but that's.
Let's go to the document. That's where I would imagine it would be. Undo, stack, okay, dot, reset, redo, clear, redo stack.
Sounds good.
I want to clear the undo stack though.
Oh, I see. Yes. Is there a parameter that overloads to take the undo as well, or? Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, there's no parameters to this right here. So reset. I suppose I could say is equal to new. That's a little deadly sounding. A little bit. It doesn't like this being reused down here below.
I did wonder about that.
Yeah, okay.
If it's using the Avalon editor.
Anything like that. All right, got to do some boring adulting stuff like food. Okay, last Matt, come see us again. Nice to hang out with you. Glad you're here. Okay. I don't know. I feel like that's somewhat dangerous, you know, because we don't know what else is going on in the initialization of the undo stack.
True.
But
you'll definitely not have the old undo stack. I mean, it's allowing you to assign it, so.
yeah, I think that's a reset of the undo stack right there. We'll run with that. Let's compile, see what we got.
Oh, that's right. We had one other. Overload for text change matches that handler.
Hmm. Can't clear the undo stack. That's Wasabi Dev. Well, that's kind of what I'm. Yeah, I'm. You know, let's go look at it one more time. Is there a clear?
Oh, using an official method that we can see.
Maybe there was a clear. Oh, look at that. That's what it was.
Okay.
Wasabi Dev, you just saved us. Good job. That's way better. That's what I want. That's what I want. So the
Looks neater and everything.
And since I'm gonna now yeah, whoop, exactly. Oh, let's call it clear undo stack. Thanks, Wasabi Dev. That was totally that's the nudge we needed, right? To go back in there and take a look at that. Hey, how you doing? Beautiful. Huh?
A snack from your
Yeah, you're gonna get a snack from my desk. Go ahead.
Hi.
There's Karen Minchcotti right there. Everybody.
Hello.
Roy says hello.
I like Fred's colorful arrows.
Yeah. You know what? Fred likes you. Right, Fred?
Are those always there?
Yep, they're always there. They're always there.
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, look, there's like more contrast on me than normally is. I took the camera down and then I put it back and I changed the f-stop and all kinds of things. You can snack somewhere else if you want.
No, I'm good.
You'll be right next to the mic though. Okay.
Suddenly there's no sound at all through the mic.
Suddenly no sound at all through the mic. You got sound now though, right? Checka checka. Yeah, you do. You got
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Take your snacks and go.
Oh, I'm good.
You're just making so much noise. All right. All right, good. We got a clear undo stack there. We have some problem over in the XAML, which I don't quite understand. I'm not seeing any problem here. Oh, wait. What's going on here? It's become text changed 1.
Okay. It's just become disconnected.
Is what it looks like it.
That's the other event right there. It's the one it should in theory be.
Yeah.
Although,
Updates.
does the text changed event for this new control have the same event args and so forth?
Yeah. Well, I'm not actually using the event art, so I'm okay with that. But I think what I need to do is extract this method so I can handle the 2 different types so I can switch back. Call it code changed for now. And we're going to do the same thing down over here. We'll call code changed. I want to rename this. L1 text change. Let's see if that builds. Yeah, so I think there's a chance tomorrow, or maybe the next day, I'll have the other machine up and running. Just venting because it works, says Deepwater. If you're going to write crappy documentation, just don't write any at all. This is all happening because I got the other app up and running all by itself, standalone right here. There's the other app. Let's close it down. Looks like we can do a run. Let's see if that Avalon thing works. Wouldn't it be cool if we just got syntax highlighting as well without doing anything?
That would be very cool.
And
I suspect it feels like a little bit of a stretch.
Would it be?
Have we specified the language anywhere?
Would it be similarly a stretch as if it worked if I started claiming entire complete credit for that?
Oh, well, we could do that. Yeah, I mean,
We are geniuses. I might
you
shout
could at
that.
the very least say, "Look, I read the documentation and knew it would work."
Yeah, I'm going to be shouting, "We are geniuses!" if this all works. All right, so here we go. Let's go to Merkin. Let's click on debug. Find. Oh, we're geniuses.
Wow.
All right, now let's see if I can. Templates still work though. If look at that, and /m.
Just all the awesome.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing.
That's pretty good. Was there even a specification? Did we give it any clues this is going to be C#?
Yes.
I can't remember.
No, there was. I didn't call it out.
Was that back in the XAML?
It was absolutely in the XAML. I'll show you where that is. It's over here. And it is, where is it? Let's go find it. TBX code. There it is right there. It's this line right there. Syntax highlighting is equal to
Gotcha.
C#. Not
That's pretty good.
bad. Holy cow. Okay. And even the padding settings worked from before. We also gained scroll bars, which I don't think we had before, or did I? Did I add those? I don't see anything specifically for it. Yeah, so we got scroll bars where before there were not any. All right, that's like kind of stunning. And that's a show, kids. We did it in a minute.
Yeah, success. Ta-da!
Just kidding. We're good. That's awesome though. I got several things I want to do. I kind of want to change the colors of this, to be honest. Also, I want to see, can it do these strings, and can it do that? It looks like it can. Look at that syntax highlighting. That's awesome. Okay, good. So
I bet it can't have embedded images like a certain other IDE productivity tool.
You'd think that.
To be fair,
Hold on.
not out of the box anyway. We may have to do some coding to get that.
Look at this.
Wow.
Hold on. Where is it? Control F1. Why is it? Oh, I'm zooming in the wrong. Hold on. Mouse is on the wrong screen. And something else is happening too. There we go. Let's jump over here. That's what I wanted to do. Allow inserting images into comments.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah, you can actually do that, but we don't need to do that. But I'm interested in going here. I want to go there. I don't like this border at all, but I totally want to go in this space. And I want to change the colors on this. So let's see if we figure out. So do you think that they're copying these files? I'm sorry, go ahead. What do you want to say?
I'm just saying, looking at that, that looks like a very complete mechanism for specifying syntax definitions, i.e. the color sets and what have you. So that's pretty nice that they have that.
Yeah, I read a little bit about it. It's got a begin regular expression and an ending regular expression is what's going on there. Yeah, here we go. Digits dark blue. So I kind of want to look in. I want to look into that and see if we can change it. That's kind of what I want to look into doing here. I guess there's two ways I want to kind of explore it. One is I want to kind of get a sense if inside of the bin folder, if it's copied over to those files, if it's using those files, how is it getting that data? That's what I'm looking for. So let's open up the folder, go out to the bin. I guess I would start it all with AvalonEdit. So it looks like maybe it's not here in that form. See if I search and just type in the word Avalon. Do I get anything in this space? Okay, so it's probably a resource in the DLL. That's my new theory on it, in the AvalonEdit DLL. So now my question is, how do I change the syntax highlighting? AvalonEdit, change text color.
Just behind Fred's head, perhaps.
Yeah. This is not what we want to do. Let's change it. I want to change syntax highlighting. Okay, these are ads. I mean, you know what? I got to get back over to Google Chrome because I'm like, there we go. So I like this, right? No ads as we're coming in here, and over here in Bing. I know Microsoft guys like to say, "What about Bing?" But look at this, right? It's so tiny. It's so tiny, and it's light border. It really is hard to see and identify that that's, different, right? In my peripheral vision, I can't tell. And that's one of the things I like about that I like about Google Chrome is that it's very clear what's an ad and what's not. So I can skip past the noise when I want to do that. Let's see what we got here. Is this going on? Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think I want that. I don't want that. How do we,
we really want to do is to get it to output the file that's associated with the current C# value, so that we can adjust it, make our own, and embed that. Maybe is that in the source? Can we find that just on GitHub?
Yeah, I think we can find it on GitHub.
Tail-learn code is raiding. Welcome everybody.
Surly Dad is in the house.
You join us as we research how to alter the syntax highlighting in AvalonEdit. The rather good editor that we found for WPF that we literally just told it this is C#, and it has provided for us a very nice default set of colors, but we would like to tweak these a little bit.
I don't know. I guess I would third-party highlightings. What is in
Could be.
here? Okay. So I guess I'm wary of this because I really like the NuGet way in. So I guess you're suggesting let's get the file, bring it as an XSD, stick it in our own resource, load it up, and give it to AvalonEdit. That's kind of what I think you're suggesting, right? Okay, so let's figure it out. I don't understand. Build tools, documentation, sample tests. Oh, here we go. Is that it? Highlighting. XSHD. No, these look like the code files for it. Okay.
Yeah.
Resources, there they are.
There we go. So there's a C# mode, single file. And this is interesting because this is 4 years ago that this was last edited. So this will give us an idea of just what is and isn't sort of up to date, I guess. But at the same time, this is now what can be edited. So we can add things if we need to.
All right, let's give it a shot. See how complicated it's going to be to get through this. All right, I'm going to close this down so we can make changes. And, I haven't created a resource file in a really long time. File that's a resource, but I think it's as simple as just saying add a new file. I'm just going to do that because I don't even care about I'm just going to rename it as soon as we get it down here. We're going to call this C#. That. There we go. No syntax highlighting for that, huh? All right, let me just give it an XML extension. Get our syntax highlighting in here. All right. So we want to be able to load this up and use this one instead. So as I recall, I come in here, build action, I guess is a content embedded resource. And I think do not copy is okay because it's an embedded resource. Now I just need to figure out how to load the embedded resource, which I've done like a few times in my life, but not enough to remember it. So C# load embedded resource has maybe a stream. Look at this. Look who voted this up already. I've been here before.
Yeah.
And I like, this is my preferred answer.
Past Mark is showing you the way.
Yeah, there you go. Good job, Mark. Thanks, buddy. What I really want is you voted this on this date 3 years ago or whatever, right? I would love to have some nostalgia to get a sense of time over what's happening here. Okay, so now we need to come back over here, and I think it's probably going to be in our constructor somewhere in this space. We're going to need to load that syntax highlighter up. So we're going to say load Avalon syntax highlighter. Like that. Should have hit num2. I'm still training myself on the new keystroke I just added. So num2, much faster. See how much faster that is? Okay, so get executing assembly resource name. Wait, no assembly here. What's wrong here? Fine. System reflection. All right, so now we're going to be, I think the assembly name, I think it's just the default namespace is what I think it is, which is DHDM. I think it's either that or it's without it, is what I think it is. C#.xml. All right. Let's see if we can get, let's just set a breakpoint in here and see what happens when we run it. By the way, thanks for the raid, guys. Tail Learn Code. Appreciate that. We were in the middle of focusing on things, I think, and didn't acknowledge you guys. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. Surly Deb, how are you doing, buddy? All right, here we go. F10, F10, F10. Ooh, we got that far. Hey, I think we found it. And so now read the result. There it is. So now we've got our syntax highlighter. Is it sufficient to now just simply say tbx code dot highlighting syntax highlighting dot highlighter? So set. It's being rule set. That's not right. I feel like we ran into this code when we were doing some of the other searches. We were talking about setting the color.
So.
All right, let's do this. AvalonEdit set. No, syntax highlighting.
Just talking here about a document highlighter.
Is it in document, maybe? Document.highlighter? No. Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Text code dot text area? Nope. Text view? I think there's a text view. Gosh, I feel like I could, if I was just a little smarter, I could get it, I could go find it. I thought there was a view. No view. Come on, what is it? text editor syntax highlighting. Here we go. It's, I think, this line of code right there. Whoops. I think it's there.
Okay.
Let me see what we get here. All right, so syntax highlighting is equal to highlighting dot load instance. So I think we just need the reader.
Yeah.
And we don't need to close because we're already in the using statement right here. All right, let's try one more time. Nope, it doesn't like the reader. What does it want in here? A stream, maybe?
So we've got a stream reader. Perhaps we need a text reader that takes the stream.
It looks like it needs something called a syntax definition. Wait, that's one of them. The other one is an XML reader.
Okay.
Can I put that in here? I'm really not familiar with it. That doesn't look like it's going to work.
Is there an XML text reader? I think one of those is abstract.
Let's see what we got. I think I can get it. I just need to do this. Oh, but I'm in a using statement. So that's not going to work until I get out of the using statement. Let's get up here. Set next statement. Oh, we can't do this. Hold on. Let's come up here. Set next statement. All right, come back in. I forget what it was. It was, just get, there. See if that works.
Code in the chat there. XML reader's got a create method on it. I think it's a static method that takes a stream and some optional settings.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Roy. Create, stream, and what's our settings here? Is this an enum?
Well, the example I had here is just an object that can have async set true, but that may not be necessary at all for this.
It's
Just
essentially
the example I
new.
had.
So I'm going to just do that. And let's see what happens now. I'm just going with the default reader settings. All right, did that actually work? So we still have syntax highlighting. Maybe it worked.
We didn't change anything, so there's no easy way to tell.
Right, well, but I can do this. I can go into the XAML and use hot reload to change the language to a different editor, a different language, and then we can come back and we can't really execute that line of code. We'd have to restart.
We haven't changed the definition. Yeah.
Okay. Let's change our comment color. Let's just change our comment color, restart it, and see if that actually solves that problem. C# XAML. Let's look at comments. Foreground is showing it green. I'm just going to change it to flat out red. I'm assuming.
Been nice and obvious.
Actually, let's do this. Let's do. Yeah, fine. I'm going to do red for now. We'll save that and let's run it. We probably kill our breakpoints. It looks like it's gone. All right, cool. By the way, I like that this code all worked right here. That code, well, we had to change it to a reader, but that we got it, and we got it including figuring out the name of it. The name of it based on, we assumed that this is where it was going to be. Right? So I like that that was pretty quick. All right, initializing player data. Using the scroll. Debug. There we go.
There we go. Success.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right.
This bodes very well for the future because we haven't had to put a lot of effort into actually getting the highlighting in the first place. We didn't have to put a huge amount of effort into changing the nature of that highlighting.
Yeah.
So that suggests that the people who created this have thought things through fairly well, and that our other tasks that we'd like to do, you know, there's a fair chance it will be maybe not absolutely instant one line of code, but there'll be some logic behind it. It's good.
No,
I'm very hopeful for this.
I 100% agree. All right, so that's good. So we can go ahead and change that pretty easily. I kind of want to add a custom highlighting as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's spend just a few moments researching custom highlighting on this thing.
So you want to highlight a string to represent spells differently because it starts with the phrase spells or something like that.
Really,
what you mean?
what I want to do is these methods that I'm declaring inside of the code here, I want to show those in a different color. Those are coming from the core, D&D core, are expressions down here, these functions. So add sound is right here, right? So
the kind of built-in nature of it.
Yeah, anything that we've added in here, our methods, I kind of want to do it in a different color. But it's not maybe as important as IntelliSense. Maybe let's figure out IntelliSense next. Because I think that's actually going to be because that I think is maybe going to be a bigger benefit. And I actually want to even be able to figure out IntelliSense for the strings, because add sounds is these sounds are out on disk. So I want to be able to type in, S and have it autofill spells or any other folders that begin with the letter S.
Wow, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what it would be. I'd like to get there because I really wanted this to be, if I can get it fast and easy to add Dungeons and Dragons rules to the rules engine, then it's going to be easy to add the rules. And this is what I do all the time, Rory. Whenever I'm involved in any kind of project, I decide we determine what is the thing we're going to want to do the most of, and then we make that be the easiest thing. And that's what we want to
shorten that feedback cycle. Make everything as quick as possible.
Right.
And start elevating your thought process to a higher level.
That's exactly what I want to do. And so, including, I also want to get tooltips. I haven't seen anything on parameter tooltips, but we might be able to solve that too. I think we can get that and nail that. I think there's another place I want to go first, though. Which do I want to do first? IntelliSense. Let's read about IntelliSense and see what it's going to take to get that working. Code completion. All right. Text entered. Text entering. New completion window. All the UI is already done for you. Okay. Code completion whenever the dot is pressed. Well, that's this. Here's where we fill it. All right, sweet. Well, actually never had focus. Instead, it hijacks the WPF keyboard. Input events. Yep. I totally agree with that. This allows selecting entries and completion using the keyboard and normal typing in the editor at the same time. Good. Here's the implementation of the myCompletion data class using the code above. Interesting. Nice. I love it. This remember what you were talking before, kind of good design, and it bodes well.
Yeah.
My take on this is the exact, I get the exact same conclusion after reading this line of code right here. Because it's basically, you get to set up your own data, and this is called when it's time to actually insert the code, right? Which gives you control over how you insert the code, which is beautiful, right? That also means we could insert something into the document and then move the caret to a place that's not the end of that. For example, in between parens, for example, and then do a second thing like do tooltips or whatever. So I'm a huge fan of this. All right, so let's do this. Let's implement this. So we need to get 2 events. So let's take this. We're going to close it down. I don't think I can use edit and continue on it. I'm also interested to know, wait, how do I get these events for the pieces inside, for the properties inside of the text editor, right? So like, for example, one of those events is in, where were we? How did I lose the window that was open? Did I really have it open in Chrome and I shut it down? It looks like I somehow did. Or did I, yeah, it's not any of these right here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, no. Let's open last.
I think it's AvalonEdit.net/documentation. Is that where you were?
Yeah, I just hit Control-Shift-T to open up the closed files. I'm not sure how I lost that. Okay, so it's text area dot text entered. So my question is, in XAML, where are you, XAML? Can I do text area dot? Yeah, I can't. So I'm not sure how to do that. Can I come in here and say, can I come in here and get the text editor? Nope. I can't, oh wait, right down here. No, wait, that's the text editor we're already in. The text area is what I want. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know how to hook that event in XAML. I think that means I'm going to have to manually hook that event. This is what I'm talking about. I don't understand. How do I hook that event? Is it exposed on the main control and maybe I just didn't see it? I don't think so. Nope. And there's no text entered. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to hook the event manually. Okay, so let's hook the event manually then. All right, hit my num2, my new shortcut binding. Yeah, look at how sweet and fast that is.
Do like that.
So now we're going to go in here, .text area, text area, let's look at only events. What is it? What was the event? I'm forgetting it. Text enter. Okay. Okay, there's one. And the other event was text entering. All right, good. Those two pieces are there. I want to switch these around. Just so they are the same as what we're seeing out over here.
Mm-hmm.
Copy, paste, and
I really like the way these examples are fairly simplistic, but without being so simplistic as to not be useful. What I mean by that is that they will clearly function, but ultimately we will need more, because you can see right at the top there it says if e.text is a period. Well, that's great because we all understand the idea of hitting that period and getting IntelliSense or IntelliRush come up. However, you can't have that happen all the time. If you're inside a string, we will later need to give exceptions for that so that we don't just do it all the time. But it's good enough to get us up and running, and get us up and running pretty quick.
Yep, I totally agree. Yeah. All right, let's declare this as a field. Okay, so there's my completion window. That's good. My completion data, we talked about that. We need to add that. We'll use this. Let's include those comments because I like those. All right, so that should get us TBX code. That should get us the same functionality that already exists here. Let's just try running that. Oops, completion data. Got a problem here. Complete and priority. Looks like I got a problem here. Where's text area coming from? I'm going to assume it's this one right there. My segment is hopefully even more straightforward.
Segment was the thing that was in parallel with our line definition. So it was our previous, we replaced it with an offset and a position, I think it was. But the second overload allowed for a nice segment, so I think it's a more structural, more regulated form of that data.
Okay. And then there was a priority we were missing here. Some new things since the implement interface, priority. Oops. I don't know. I'm just going to do that for now. Now let's see what we... I think this is if we have multiple completion engines competing for each other.
Okay.
Maybe. But again, I like that from an architectural standpoint. If that's the case. All right, we're up and running. I'm initializing player data. Surely says he cannot complain. Debug, mage hand, on casting. Now I want to say hello dot, there we go. IT, EM2, there we go. Nice, it filters automatically. I love it. And look at that description. Nice. Look at the description for item 2. Item 1, look at this showing up off to the side. See that?
Yeah.
Talking about right over here. Isn't that cool? Nice little tooltip piece. Yeah, it's really good. All right, so now let's make it work while we're typing stuff in. Okay? So, where are we, by the way? Where is all this stuff we've got? We are inside the main window here. I'm going to create my own class called the Text Completion Engine. Is what I think I'm going to do.
Okay.
And I'm going to start moving some code over there. Let's get outside of this class. So, whoops, I hit X and I meant to hit C. C for new class. Let me scroll up so you can see what I'm doing. Text Completion Engine. Like that. And I think I want to create a new instance of it. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to do it like right up here near the end of of this space here. I think I want to create a new property of that type. Fine. And then I want to create a new instance of it here. Let's do the comma there so it's just like that. So there's my text completion engine. And so now up here, I think I want to move these over. Okay, so we'll pop those over into our text completion engine, like that. We are going to need to pass in TBX code as well, and we'll need to put our completion window there. Yeah, so TBX code we'll need to set as well. I think I'm going to pass it in here. So I'm going to hit the coder's key, choose add parameter, pass in TBX code, and set it there. And then we're going to hit the coder's key and choose I'm not sure. I'm going to look to see if there's, I'm not sure if there's a bug or not, but it looked to me like I hit the key once. Hold on a second. Let's bring up the coder's keystroke visualizer. Let's throw this over here just so we can see the keystrokes as I press them. But it felt to me like I hit the num0 key to bring up the the action menu, and it looked like it disappeared on me, is what it looked like it did. Let me actually try to undo this. Let's go back. And let's come back in one more time and try to reproduce. Add parameter, paste in, enter. I'm done, enter. I'm going to hit num0, and my hands are off the keyboard. I've hit it once, right? There's the num0, and it disappears. I'm going to call that a bug. And we're going to reproduce this one more time for you kids so you can see it here. You can also scroll back to see it. Keep your eyes on the keystroke visualizer up there. Here's the sequence of steps to do this. Notice the code does not compile yet. I'm in the process of moving some stuff around. Although I suppose it wouldn't be too hard to make it compile first. And do this. I need to take this out and bring this down here. I need to make these public. There and there. These are both public. And now the last thing I have to do to make this compile is I need to bring this guy in right here. So let's come back up here. Here's the steps to reproduce. Coder's key, add parameter, paste, enter. We're right here. I'm just going to hit enter. Then I'm going to hit the coder's key. My hands are off the keyboard. num0, and then it disappears. Something is making that disappear. Find out what that is. Now I have to hit it one more time, and now it comes up and doesn't disappear. That's new. Figure out what's going on with that, please. There we go. That's the bug. All right, let me finish. Let me close up that issue. Action menu disappears after invoking it. And I've not spelled disappears correctly. That was Guess who? It's pudding! No pudding! No!
Hey, pudding. How you doing?
Why? Why do you always dump pudding on me? Every time. All right, Pudding. Glad to have you with us, buddy. How you doing? We're
Oh,
I'm happy to see
why
you.
would you say that? I'm very happy to see you. Always.
Who's here? It's Jetsam. Hey, Jetsam.
This is my backup team. My backup team is arriving here because, sadly, it is that time.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much, Roy. You were
No
here
trouble at all, Mark.
for the amazing cool part of the show. We normally do this just as you leave.
Yes.
I wonder how good
it's kind of fun.
I wonder how good it's going to be like just now after you leave. If all this was awesome up to this point,
It's going to step up so much more.
it's going to be so good.
I can tell.
You're going to be like your kids are going to be like, something's happening on the internet, Dad. I think it's Mark Miller's show. Robosaurus is in. Oh, look out! It's Rover.
All right, I'm out of here before I get burned.
Well, bye. Bye,
See you later,
Roy.
man.
See ya. All right. Thanks, Roy, for being with us. Groversaurus is out there with us. Jetsam's with us. Pudding. Yeah, Roy doesn't seem happy to see me. I've failed. I don't think so. I'm doing okay. A little tired. Woke up early this morning. I still in the process of putting my new machine together, and I had a whole bunch of cables I needed to connect. So I woke up and I was like, I should connect those cables. Who's going to save the day now? You, Pudding, are going to save the day. All right, so we're working on our text completion engine for our editor. And did I get a compile, I guess is my question. Let's build it and see what happens. Progress bar is kind of hidden. It's right down there. Build succeeded. Okay, good. So that we moved the template engine off to the other side. Was there anything else I wanted to do with that? Yeah, I did. I wanted to actually get it to the next level here. So I think I want to, let's rename my completion data to, I'm going to call it code completion data. Let's do that. Let's take code completion data, move it to its own file. I don't think I need this anymore. Next, we need to get a list of all of the methods we know about. And those methods are all declared over here in our functions. These are all the methods for our expression evaluator. They're all descendants of D&D function. So what we're kind of looking for is, there's already code somewhere in here. I've got a lot of references to these. So I'm not sure I can quickly find this. I might have to come in, what is it, Shift F12 on this, get a whole list so I can quickly spot it. I'm looking for something that's not like all of these. Here we go. Here we go. Functions and variables. Add function. Load evaluate extensions. Okay. So all I need to do, this is where we load the known variables and functions. I just need to make these public. Like that. And so now I can go into expressions.functions and I should get a full-on list of all of those. Okay. Cool. But I don't want to open it after the users press a dot. I want to do it as they're typing. That's what I want to do. Which means I need to better understand this event and what's sent to it. Let's set a breakpoint here and see what we can do here. See what we can get. All right, here it comes. Text completion engine is null. Did I have put these in the wrong order? I did. My bad. This has got to come first. Okay. What's this done? Let's take all of this and extract it into its own method. Okay, try again. Run. Okay, initializing player data. Okay, so enter, we're at a breakpoint. What do we get? So it's just telling me the thing that we are actually coming in with. Is that right? All right, fine. I'm gonna run it. And I'm gonna say like the letter A. And I'm sure now there's my A coming in. And let's keep running it. I'm gonna hit the letter B. And it's just the letter B. There's no reference to A or anything to the left of it. So what we need to do is get the code to the left of it. Is what we need to do. Sort of launching the Code Rush rocket. Oh, we lost. Did we lose the code? The drone game on this page. I didn't know that. Oh, that's why we're losing it. It was turned off on this page. Got it. All right, let me just refresh it. It looks like it's refreshed. Sorry about that. All right, back to normal. So we need to get the text to the left to see what's. We need to do two things. We need to say, hey, is this a number or a digit? I'm gonna call this is identifier key. If we're not an identifier key, then I want to get out of here. And I want to pass in that to it. Like that. So this declare method. Hold on, let me undo because I forgot to hit num2. I'm teaching myself new keystrokes. So I'm faster. There we go. Then we should have got my drone out when we raised earlier. When we raided earlier. Yeah, you got. You should be able to get your drone out now. Yeah, it looks like we got flowers and stuff like that. Well, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to, oh, we're at a breakpoint. Let's do this. Is letter or digit? Let's do this. First char is equal to that. If it's a letter or digit, or that is equal to an underscore, then we're going to say return true. Else we're going to return false. I should be able... What's wrong with his letter or digit? Okay, then nothing wrong. It was just Visual Studio. Flatten conditional just to that right there. Okay, so is identifier key is going to return true if it's a letter, digit, or underscore. If we're not an identifier key, then we're going to get out of here. Then I need to figure out, I need to get all the text to the left. Here's what I need to do. What does it give me in E? Does it give me an offset? Well, I guess I'm going to have the caret. See what I can figure out here. No document reference. It's control text. No, we're already working with that. Yeah, okay, I guess we're not going to get the pieces we need. We're going to have to get through them through this instead, I guess. I'm okay with that. So we're going to go into, what is it, text area? Text area dot caret. Is there by chance anything like get word left or get token left? Looks like there's not. Okay, so we need to get the caret, the cursor, the caret position, like that. We need to say text. We need to go to the document. We need to get line by offset and pass in the caret. Nope, I did the wrong thing. I wanted to hit, nope, not what I want. I want to come in here, hit num1 to do my declare local. What? Num1. Why isn't num1 working there? Oh, I'm passing in the wrong data? Caret.offset, like that. Okay, now num1 should work. I hit num1. I see. I was inside. Okay. I need to be at the end of the line or at the beginning of the line. Okay. So there's my line right there. So now I need to get the token left of caret is equal to get token left of the offset. Let's introduce a new local for this. Call this identifier instead. All right, get identifier left of the offset. Let's declare that method. It's my new num2 binding. So we're going to come in here. We're going to get the line. Oh, it's the second time we need to get the line, isn't it? We've already added code to get the line where it's kind of complex, more complex than we wanted it to be. What is it? Okay, so the line text is going to be get text, and the offset is going to be line dot offset. And the length is going to be, what's my other override segment? Okay, the length is going to be offset minus line.offset. Caret offset. Okay, here's my line text. And now we need to get a result string in here. Okay, and then we're going to say while. We're going to also maybe get a number in here. It's going to be our index is equal to line text dot length minus 1, while index is greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0, and line text of index, let's go back and call is identifier key. So let's change that to is identifier. Can't rename it because we're in edit and continue. Okay. Okay, so while index is greater than or equal to 0 and we're looking at an identifier character, we're going to subtract 1 from index, and we're going to say result equals line text of index plus result, because we're building it in reverse, going backwards. And then at the end, we're going to return result. Time to go take dinner to my mom's. Gonna eat mine while there too, so probably won't be back before you end the stream. So good evening, everyone. Catch y'all soon. Take care. You too, Surly Dev. The users list shows Rory's still in the chat room. Rory. You sneaky. Sneaky. He's not there now. All right. Looks like he left. Okay. See ya, Surly. Thanks so much. Okay, there's get identifier left of. Now we want to say, hey, if and I think we may need to do more. Like, for example, are we in a string or not? Would be really good piece of information to know. So, and I think we can get that from the syntax highlighting. So getting some context from the string syntax highlighting I think would be helpful. Now I want to say if any functions, now I want to get a list of functions. So what I want to say here is I'm going to say, okay, what is it? D&D function is what I'm looking for. A new list of D&D functions. Actually, instead I want to say get functions starting with, and I want to go actually to expressions to get that. And here I think I want to say, hey, if null or white space return is what I want to do there. Okay. So anything that starts with that, and right here I want to say if it's null or it's count equals 0, then I want to return as well. So we're just kind of collecting our data. Now if we get to this point, then we are going to actually add the completion data. And this is going to look like this. For each, like that. Here's our completion window. We're creating it. Setting the data. And then we're going to say data.add new completion data. And we're going to pass in, or at least for now, we'll just put in the name. Okay. And then we show the completion window. So now we just have to implement this. Get function starting with, and functions. Let me go jump into functions. I made these public before. I don't need to do that anymore. Let's do this. Let's set a breakpoint, get in here and look at some data. What's my problem here? I think it's just, I don't think there's a problem here. It's just taking a while. Nope, maybe there is a problem there. What is it? Did this declare enumerable? I want it to be a list. Okay. I'll try it. Ah, okay, fine. Let's make both of these public. And looks like edit and continue did not work. Okay, let's restart it. Initializing player data. Got the A, got the B. Nice. Token to the left of caret is AB. Let me do a space and type in C. Good. Just gets the C and a D. Good. Okay. Next, we want to come in here and go get our functions. Dot where. Name dot starts with I think I'm gonna go with name dot to lower dot starts with All right, so we're going to get all of those functions where it starts with it and send it out as a list. And I think that's all we need to do. What does it not like about lower here? You captured it already? All right, fine. Restart. We got an exception in there. Name was null. Are you hyped for Maui? X is not equal to null. I'm worried about that not being that there was one that was null. I'm wondering if that's the ancestor class, and that's why it came in with name being empty. Let's see what happens. Initialize player data. Okay, A, so we get now. Still, if it's not equal, X is not equal to null. Oh, sorry, I meant X dot name is not equal to null. That's what I meant to say. Pretty sure that's not going to let me do edit and continue there. Maybe it did. Okay, cool. So let's try again. A. (17) functions starting with the letter A. All right. D. Look at that. Nice. Whoa. Where are we? No code to show. All threads were executing external code. What's going on with that? What is happening with that? Initializing player data. See if we can reproduce it. There it is. I'm not sure what's going on in this at all. That's a little slightly disconcerting there. Getting this. I wonder if it's like this. I wonder if we're creating multiples. Is that possible? Yeah, that doesn't make sense that this would fix this. Yeah, it's kind of stunning to me that we're not getting better data on this, which indicates it's happening inside the Avalon edit code. Hold on. Just copied the exception details. What's interesting is the other options aren't there. Get pattern. This is looking like it's from Visual Studio. Am I looking at that right? Well, Microsoft Visual Studio Design Tools. This doesn't make sense to me. This is weird to see this in the call stack right here. Yeah, I'm wondering if that's the case. Because if it was in Visual Studio, we wouldn't see that. We wouldn't see, it would be different behavior. Visual Studio would be in trouble. What's weird is it's not able to show us the call stack. Reference not set to an instance of an object. Well, I think I want to take a look at the code. Text area automation peer. Get pattern. Yeah, it feels like pattern interface is null. Wait, unless it's an enum. Hold on. Pattern interface may be an enum. Text area could be null. Yeah, I don't see a good way to solve this. I was hoping we would just look and be able to get a sense of what the problem was in here. There's no line numbers, so we don't know what line number it's having the problem at. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Let's back some stuff up. Kind of want to black box test this. I'm going to comment this out here and see if I can break it without these events. Visualizing player data. Looks like I can't break it without those events. Let's look at the events. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to get the source to be able to debug this and see what's going on. Let's see if by chance somebody else has already discussed this. Hey, Pudding. Three days ago. Okay. This could be our problem. All right. Do we have an ability to go with latest to unstable? I'm wondering. Is it related to this or not? It sure looks like it's close. Same method. All right, I think I'm going to, I need to think about this in terms of how I'm going to figure out where the bug is, how to find it. The fact that we're not getting a lot of code and the fact that it's inside the package, and we're not sure what's causing it isn't great. And we're not anywhere in the call stack, right? Our code is nowhere in the call stack. So we can't, this is not an exception that we can hook into. We can't, it's not an exception we can try to catch. So I think we got to figure out what's wrong with the code. What is it about the way we're using the window? I could do this as one thing we could try. I could close and recreate it every time instead of reusing it. Let's try that, see how that works. All right, initializing player data. Debug, casting. Still, yeah, it doesn't seem related. It doesn't seem related to that code. Copy details again. See how does it differ from this. It's the same one. All right, looks like we need to fix get pattern and build against that, which means we're going to bring the code down. I think that's. I think I'm going to end the show on this. A little discouraging, but we'll figure it out. We'll work our way through it. Let me see who we're going to raid. Bald bearded builder. Here goes the raid. Tell Michael Jolly I said hi.